Hey guys, welcome back. Today, my focus is going to be on this rabbit tractor right here. So when I first made this, I showed you guys the process on how I did it, but I needed this cage for chickens. And as you can see, they've made a mess in here. So I need to clean it out and I need to remodify it so it can be used for rabbits. That watering dish right there, yeah, it looks moldy. It's because the chickens haven't been in here and I haven't needed to clean it. But I need to switch that out for a metal nipple so that the rabbits don't chew through the plastic and make this watering cup not usable anymore. But I not only need to add a new watering system, but I need to add a feeder for this tractor. And I thought I'd bring you guys along and show you how I go through step by step. So stay tuned. So the reason I was spray painting the wire on the outside of the cage is, and I think you might be able to see it in the camera, but when the fencing is black, it's easier to see through it. You can see on this side, I haven't spray painted that one just yet, and it kind of interferes with you looking into the cage, whereas on this side here that I did spray paint, you can see a lot better inside. So this isn't really for the rabbits' benefits, it's more for mine. Just like that, we now have a wall on the inside to separate the main run area from the little hideaway. And I made a little opening by putting a cross beam to support the bottom of these short little pieces of pallet wood. So another reason why this wall is fairly important is because I like to put the feeder on the inside of the run area. I don't like to put it in the hide, or the hide hole. I don't like to put it in there because whenever I have mothers nesting with their nest boxes, the food tray will get in the way. So I put it on the outside here underneath the roof That way it still stays dry. So I'm going to be making that next. And I'm going to do something different with this one, whereas the other ones I had them completely inside. This one I'm actually going to make it go outside, and I'll cut a hole in the netting so that way I can fill it from the outside. So I haven't done this before, and I thought of this idea in the past and thought I would utilize it for this tractor because the other ones already have their feeders. So I might make the other ones modified, but for now I'll see how this one works, and if I like it, we'll go from there. So the first section I'm going to cut out is going to be 8 inches long, and this is going to be the food trough where they eat out of. So now, with the food trough section cut to length, I need to get the measurements of what it will be opened at. So, for example, when I have the end piece on and the 90-degree angle, this is going to be the width of the food trough. Then I'm going to cut down maybe like a third of the way down on each side, so that way the food has some place to sit, and it will give them enough of a opening so that they can get their mouths in there and take some food out. So this is going to be the bottom of it, and my thought process for how I'm going to make this is I'm going to have the food trough sit right about here, and then I'm going to have the same piece of piping go up this way, and then it's going to have a 45-degree angle going out this way. I'm probably going to have it back this way so that way the 45-degree angle can get to the netting or the mesh here. So it's going to have a 45-degree angle come out there, and on the other side there's going to be another 45-degree angle to bring it straight up, and then there's going to be another end cap that I'll be able to remove to fill up the feeder on the outside. So that's what I'm going to do for now. There were a couple of people that had PVC feeders, that I think 3 videos that I remember seeing. So I will give them credit because this is not my invention. This is something that I found that works really well for my situation, and I just want to give them a shout out. And just like that, I now have a completed, well, not fully completed. I still need to cut out the trough at the bottom, but you see the lines that I made? That's going to be the cutout. I'm going to use my Dremel to cut through that, just because that's the easiest tool that I've found that works for me. But that's basically what the feeder's going to look like. It's going to be this dimensions, then this top here I'm going to leave open. Well, I'm going to leave it not permanently attached. That way I can remove it to fill up the feeder, and then cap it up to prevent water from getting in there and making the feed gross and moldy and disgusting. So that's it. I'm going to affix it to the inside wall using this stuff. I forget what it's actually called. It's like a pipe. I forget. Pipe clamp? I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to secure the pipe to the wall. You might have seen it in the other tractors just by chance of some of the other videos that I've got. I haven't really shown it, but that's what I'm going to end up using. It'll bend fairly easily into any shape that I need, and then I'm just gonna affix it with screws. That's the other reason why I like having this wall, because it gives me something nice and sturdy to attach the feeder to. I will bring you back when I'm completely done, when that little feed trough opening has been cut out, and that should do it for the build of this tractor. Well, the finished product of this tractor, making it set up for the rabbits, because I had the baby chicks in here for quite a while. I'll bring you back when I am fully done attaching this feeder. I do need to go to work right now, so I gotta go get ready for it, but that will be for another day. Hey guys, it's a few months later. Oh, get that out of here. But yeah, I wanted to show you the final updates that I've got so far. You never know, we're always updating stuff here. But I just want to show you the final updates on the rabbit tractor that I was working on. So let me show you. So here it is. First off, the wheels. They were cockeyed. They were twisted when weight was put on it. So if you can see now, there's a good amount of gap between the wheel and the, what is this, 2x6? I believe that's what that is. So I added another 2x4 on the inside, so that way the bolts themselves would be out longer, which would give it more stability to keep it completely horizontal, so that way the wheels don't bend inward and start rubbing against the wood. It is now a lot easier to move. I think I might need to adjust the holes a little bit because they're still a little cockeyed, but that's the first, well, one of many that I have updated for this tractor. The next thing is the feeder. So I did a couple things with this thing. As you can see, there was duct tape on here at one point. We were going through a dry season and there was no water getting in there at all. And then the rain happened and water obviously got in through the gaps. So I tried putting duct tape just as like a quick fix to see if I still liked this, because there were still some things I did not like about this feeder. One of which was the fact that it was kind of angled up. Like this trough here was angled up, which meant that the food was sitting back in the elbow and it was hard for them to get in there to get it. So what I ended up doing is I actually ended up cutting this piece here, the vertical piece. I cut that a little bit, that way it would give like less height for it to be able to be pushed back, and it angled it nicely so that way it was just not going back towards the elbow there. But the other thing I did was, because you notice that the duct tape is no longer there, it's just the residue that's left, I ended up actually gluing the connection points. I still have this cover so that way I can put the food in the top. So that's not glued down, but the rest of everything has been glued. I don't believe I glued anything in the trough, just in case that I need to replace it, because I've noticed over time the rabbits do tend to chew on the edges of the trough there. So if I need to replace it, if they end up chewing a hole too far down into it, then I didn't want it all glued together like that. But yeah, so that was the final setup, and I'm a lot happier with this now because it has rained since I glued it and there has been no water getting into the food, so less food wasted. Now the other thing that I fixed was the way that I pull on the other end, so that way I can lift it to get the wheels up, well, to get the wheels to work. I originally had this blue strap here. It was from the top, and with the roof being metal, it was starting to fray the rope. So I ended up going with this option here. So I don't use this longer piece, I just knotted it so I can see if that's the length that I want it to be, because this is still fairly new idea. But what I do is I grab the knot and it lifts and pulls a lot easier. So I think I'm going to keep doing them all from the bottom versus from the top like I have it here. Gives it more leverage and it's not as difficult to pull. Because I know at one point I was trying to pull this one. I can't remember, maybe it was the other one. I was trying to pull one of the tractors and I was being stupid. It was kind of wet on the ground and the tractor ended up like not wanting to budge, which is another reason why I fixed the wheels. But I ended up slipping and my foot went under the tractor and it landed right on my ankle. I was limping for a couple days after that. So lesson learned, don't do it in wet ground. And if you have the connection spots for the rope on the bottom, then it's giving you more leverage so you don't actually have the tractor too far over your legs. Because with it being up at the top and not at the bottom, it's just the angle on how you're pulling on it. It doesn't allow for your feet to be too far away from the tractor. So lesson learned there too. But other than that, this tractor is doing really well. Up at the top here, the rope I've noticed on others does start to fray. So I might modify this handle setup differently. Maybe put like some duct tape or something to prevent these edges from being so sharp to cut against the rope. But this handle setup is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy I changed them all to that setup. It's been a lot easier to open doors. But other than that, she's been doing really good. I might end up moving that bucket to the back. Reasoning for that is because it kind of makes the whole tractor lopsided. It puts more weight on the back instead of like directly in line with the whole tractor. So that will be my next project. I'm not too worried about it just yet because it's not too bothersome, but at some point down the line I will be moving it and it'll be on the back here. So next time you see this tractor, hopefully, if I'm not procrastinating too much, I will have that bucket on the back. So that's it for the tractor updates. It's been a long time coming for this video. I apologize, guys. It has been a while. I think I first started filming this video back in May, end of May, beginning of June, and it is now the first week of November, so I apologize. I've been super busy around here. I know I had videotaped a lot of updates that I had done around the whole backyard, but I never actually ended up even putting that video up. So I apologize. I'm going to try and make another video because more things have changed since I made that last video. So for now, thanks for watching and hope to see you guys again next time. Bye.